What's up YouTube, it's Matthew here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you all the best list to pull from Propstream this month, September 2022. Understanding seasonality in your business is key to know who to target and when to target them. For example, you're not going to necessarily target the same niche of people during the summer as you do during the winter, because during the summer demand is higher. People are looking to either sell a house or buy a house. It's just the demand is higher, more activity during the summer, and during the winter it's a little bit more slow. And so you have to know which list to target around Christmas time compared to during springtime, during Easter, or whenever. So understanding all this is important, and also looking at the research. And I've done all the research for you all. I looked at foreclosure rates, home prices, home sales, and other factors around the real estate market. And using that information, I was able to create a list so you can target for this month based off of all the factors that I read recently about the last quarter, about the last month. And of course, we're using Propstream as our real estate software platform. Propstream is something that I use intensively, heavily in my real estate business. And it's a great platform where I can find motivated sellers. You all can find them too. So you can target them, whether you want to wholesale, flip, or buy rental properties. So if you all are interested in Propstream, you can actually get a 7 free day trial using my link down below. So if you're interested, if you're going to get it anyways, and you support this channel, you find value in this video, please check my link down below. So now I'm going to share my screen with you all, share some of the facts about the real estate market data, and then we're going to pull a list from Propstream. All right, you all, so the first list I wanted to discuss on which list to target on Propstream this month is properties that are in areas of opportunity zones. So essentially, opportunity zones are areas that the government have given, I guess, incentives for developers and investors to get into and to redevelop. It definitely pushes more gentrification, and there are pros and cons to that, but we don't have to get more into that. But I even noticed in my area that there are areas that even like 5 years ago was considered more of a rough area. Investors weren't trying to touch properties in this area, but more and more investors are investing in those areas, and people are flipping houses and buying houses in those areas. And so the area have gotten better. And so they're saying here in this article that these places are increasing in the amount of demand, home prices, and just more people coming to buy houses and investors to buy these houses to rent them out or to flip. And so you can understand, like, with higher home prices, like in my area, the average home price is around $320,000. But in other areas where it's more of a B- or C class area, you can find good houses for around $200,000 still. And so these places are increasing. And so here in this article, it says the report found that the median single family home and condo prices rose from first quarter 2022 to second quarter 2022 in 63% of the opportunity zones around the country, right? And by the way, this whole opportunity zone, it came from the Tax Cut and Jobs Act of 2017 by Donald Trump, which just gave incentives for people to develop in these areas. I don't know exactly what are the benefits, but I know there are benefits to it. And so that's one thing. Prices have increased there, and the amount of activity has increased there. And so that's an area that I would target on Propstream. So how do you look for something like this on Propstream? Well, number one, do your research. Do as much research, Google research as you can. Join Facebook group, talk to investors. Where are people gentrifying? Where's the new hot spot, and other things like that. Another thing that you can do on Propstream, like for example, in Atlanta, is very similar to where I live in Tennessee. you can actually filter down to the estimated value of houses. So right here, I would go to valuation and equity, and I would type in like the minimum would be $50,000, and the maximum, let's put $220,000. And so now you have a list of about $39,000, that 39,000 properties. And so these are areas that fit this medium household, or the value of this particular property, or of a particular property. And so let's say you want them to be vacant properties. All right, so now your list is down to 2,600, and this is a good list to target. Yes, these are not going to be your A-class neighborhoods, the best neighborhoods in Atlanta, but maybe there might be areas that they are gentrifying, right? Maybe you live in a higher price area. Maybe a lower price home is considered $300,000, so you would change that here, right? Or maybe you're looking for a B class area instead of a C class area, so you can adjust according to that. So that's how I would find properties in my area to target for opportunity zones, because I know investors are buying in there now and home buyers are buying there. So the second list I'm going to target are called zombie properties. Zombie properties fit two criteria. So number one, there are properties that are vacant, and number two, there are properties that are in some sort of foreclosure, right? So they're in pre-foreclosure and they sit vacant. And so you have two motivating factors in this one criteria. And the good thing about Propstream, once again, check my link down below if you're interested, is that you can actually just look. They have a quick list option for zombie properties. So you can go right here and just click zombie properties. And they're only 14 in Atlanta. That's what they're saying. But they don't make up a large part of total, I guess, real estate GDP in a particular area or in America as a whole. But if you're virtually wholesaling, you can look at these areas, because this article highlights areas where the biggest increase came from in the second quarter of 2022. And they were in Oklahoma, Missouri, California, Massachusetts, and Florida. So if you guys are either wholesaling in those areas or virtually wholesaling in those areas, you could probably find more data in a particular town in those states using Propstream. Okay, the third and final list I want to highlight are just regular pre-foreclosures. So there's an increase in foreclosures activity in the first 6 months, and they approach pre-COVID levels. So that essentially means that we're going back to foreclosure normalcy, if that's a word, or is it normacy? I'm not sure. But as we're just going back to normal rates. Like, essentially what they're saying, the first 6 months in 2022 are almost exactly like the first 6 months of 2019, right? Or 2020, right? Because half of the first half of 2020 was normal real estate data, right? And so we're reaching that area, and a lot of states have ended the moratorium on foreclosures. So here on Propstream makes it easy to find pre-foreclosures. There's another quick list option that you can just click pre-foreclosures right here, and boom, you have a list right here. If you want to look at it in another way, you can go right here, go to pre-foreclosures, and you can say, okay, it has a notice of default. Maybe it's an auction, because maybe you want to buy the house in cash or something like that. You can do that here, and then you could build more filters on top of it, but the list is already super small. Let's say you want them to be vacant, but those are essentially zombie properties that we looked at, high equity or other things like that. So those are the three main lists I would target. So those are essentially the main lists I would target: pre-foreclosure, zombie list, and looking for properties in areas of opportunity zones where people are gentrifying and developing a lot of properties. If you all are interested in Propstream, once again, check my link down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below which list you're going to target this month, or as we come into the fourth quarter of 2022, where there's usually a slowdown in the real estate market, but it can be one of your most profitable quarters. Because the economy usually does ramp up, like in the stock market and buying things, and maybe they're looking to sell their house or something like that. So let me know down below any questions or concerns you have, and once again, check Propstream down below, and I'll talk to you all later.